there's this woman by the name of Mimi Alford. She was apparently a White House intern at the time JFK was in office. And she alleges that she had an 18-month sexual affair with him.
And she's going to explain here in this next video how the affair began. And it's fascinating. So let's watch that. That's clip number 9.
I think I was under the aura.
She says it all began on just her 4th day at the White House, when the president gave her a private tour that ended in the First Lady's bedroom.
He then put his hands on my shoulders and sort of guided me down to the edge of the bed. And I think he may have even said to me, "Is this all right?" I didn't really know what was about to happen. And then what did happen was I lost my virginity right there.
There was a pregnancy scare. There was a moment when you thought you were pregnant with the president's child.
Yeah. It was the first fall when I went back to Wheaton. And luckily it was just a scare. It wasn't a romantic affair. I don't really remember the president ever kissing me, and that makes me sad. I don't remember really kissing him either.
You never even referred to him as Jack. It was always Mr.
No.
President.
Always Mr. President.
Yeah, Mr. President, that's a little kinky.
Yeah. There's something about that woman rubs me the wrong way. I don't know if I really believe her.
Yeah, she's not alone, though. There's stories about 2 different sets of stories. A lot of this stuff is corroborated. Look, Jack Kennedy was a bad, bad man.
I know.
One of the stories is that he had another secretary waiting in a limo for him. He would do the speech, get in the car, and the secretary would pleasure him orally in the limo after the speech. When Jack Kennedy was pregnant, he was on a yacht with 4 different naked women. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, I mean, he was dirty. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that makes her story a little bit more credible. And the affair went on for 18 months, you know. So there's a lot of questions. But before we ask the questions, my favorite part of that little exchange was Meredith Vieira's face in the beginning. You see that? I was like, okay, all right, I got it. You're disturbed by that. Okay.
My favorite part, and JR pointed this out earlier, is when she goes like, "I don't remember kissing him," and that makes me sad. Like, you know what makes me sad? The fact that you're sharing these intimate details with you and JFK. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to talk. She talks about the oral sex that she gave him as well in her book, and that's the thing that annoys me. She's pushing a book.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? She's been sitting on it for all these years. Jack Kennedy has passed away. Their son passed away. And, you know,
I think this should be a general rule. And, you know, maybe people would agree with me on this. But if someone has passed away and they did something really dirty with you, just let it go. If they're still alive and they have the opportunity to at least defend themselves, then fine, go at it. Say what you got to say.
Oh, you're going the other way on it.
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
because I think it's just too easy to be like, oh, look, this huge figure in American politics passed away. Of course, it's like, you know, a long time after, but still, like, to say all of these, like, really horrible things about what he's done, and then not have him be able to defend himself, I feel like it's just wrong.
Well,
and then you're pushing a book, you know? And look, I'm not trying to defend JFK. I'm not trying to say, like, he was a great guy and what he did wasn't that big of a deal. I do think it's a big deal if it actually happened. But I feel bad that he can't defend himself.
Well, you know, I have mixed feelings about all that. First of all, when Strom Thurmond passed away, we found out that the guy who was for segregation ran on the segregation ticket for president. Literally, the leader of the segregationists in this country. Turned out he had a black daughter. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then so the woman who had the affair with him talked about it, etc. But it was confirmed he had been giving money to her, to the daughter, etc. all his life. I mean. So to expose that, I think, makes a ton of sense.
Definitely.
So then I feel like, well, the more we know, maybe it gives us some perspective. And the perspective I get out of it is, so okay, JFK apparently had sex with everybody. So what?
Yeah, totally.
That proves my point that sex is irrelevant to how you do your job. And so, like Bill Clinton had sex with an intern. Who cares? I don't care if the Bushes did, if the Reagan did. I don't care. I don't care. He got Hummers in the Oval Office. You know one of the things he did with this girl? He asked her to pleasure one of his friends who was also in the administration.
That's disgusting.
And she did it, right? And as I watch her tell that story, I feel like, oh, Jesus. Like, I feel worse for her. How can she admit that? She's probably has children and grandkids now, and they got to hear about how their grandma
If like this is something that's been burning inside her for a long time and she feels like she was sexually assaulted and it's haunted her for her entire life, then I can understand her needing to vent about it. But that's not the reality. She says that she doesn't feel like she was raped. She says that it was consensual, okay? And at the same time, she's pushing the book. So it has nothing to do with venting or getting rid of something internal that's been burning her up, right?
Right. You know, the one part I didn't like is that she even brought the word rape into it. Because she does say it's consensual all throughout. Now, look, there was an enormous power disparity there, and I get that. And that's an issue, and she could bring that up. But I wouldn't have brought that word into it because she agreed, and she had an 18-month affair.
Yeah.